Coming up today, Rawlings cautions perpetrators of violence. President Nana apologizes for comments against PWDs. Ex-Maxlock CEO granted 5 million cedis bail. Vigil held for kidnapped girls. 7-year-old buried alive for biblical ignorance. And Akon disagrees with black artists rejecting Super Bowl. Hello there, you're watching DG and this is the update and my name is Godwin Nambo. We get right into it. Former President Jerry John Rawlings has cautioned preachers of violence to be ready to account for their actions. The former president noted that very little attempt was being made to prevent violence by agents of the leading political forces within the country. He said this after a visit to the 37 military hospital on Monday to visit Yaro Ishau, a victim of the Lao Balation shooting incident last Thursday. Yaro Ishau was hit by a bullet when armed men believed to be national security operatives stormed the residence of the National Democratic Congress aspirant for the Ayawaso West Wagon by-election while the election was underway. 6 people were injured and sent to the Legon hospital, but Ishau, who suffered a broken leg, was subsequently referred to the 37 military hospital. The former president noted he had earlier visited the Medifem hospital at Westlands to check on one Adam Tekli, and I quote, "our own internal violent machinery against the colleague of an aspiring parliamentarian." Mr. Rawlings said the aspirant had used most of his savings to provide water for some of the villages in his constituency, but ended up receiving a telephone call from an executive in his constituency warning him to keep up such activities and to slow down. The former president said he could not comprehend how an aspirant could not engage in activities that will endear him to his people, like the provision of basic things like water. Adam Tekli was attacked at Ho at dawn on Thursday by unknown assailants who first slapped, hit him and stabbed him thrice. He was initially treated at a hospital in Ho before later traveled to Accra for a review. And now President Kufuor was asked to be pardoned for his unintended comments passed about persons with disabilities, PWDs. The president, on a campaign platform ahead of the Ayawaso West constituency by-election, said, "We came to fix Ghana, and in these 2 years, it is only those who are blind or deaf who are not aware that indeed we have done something." His Excellency wrote an apology on Facebook denoting his comments were not literally meant to demean them, but described the comment as a political metaphor, saying it was not intended to slight PWDs. In a further explanation, he expressed how he was glad that the Ghana Federation of Disability Organizations recognized his comment as mere political metaphor. And now, former Chief Executive Officer of the Microfinance and Small Loan Center, Maxlock, Sedina Christine Tamaklo-Ationu, who is facing 78 charges for causing financial loss to the state and stealing, made a first court appearance yesterday, but she pleaded not guilty to all the charges. She was granted 5 million Ghana cedis bail. Sedina Tamaklo-Ationu made a maiden appearance before a packed Accra High Court after she was officially charged last week by the Attorney General. She was charged along with Daniel Axim, Operations Manager at Maxlock, who pleaded for bail as well. The court, presided over by Justice Afisewa Sari Butri, granted Ms. Ationu bail in the sum of 5 million Ghana cedis with 2 sureties. Mr. Axim, on the other hand, was granted bail in the sum of 1 million Ghana cedis with 1 surety. The sureties, according to the court, must be persons of independent and sufficient means who are not the subject of any criminal investigations or persons who have been convicted of any crime. The 2 were also ordered to deposit their passport at the court's registry and must apply to the court anytime they were needed. The bail condition, however, proved to be a hurdle, as the 2, who have been accused of causing over 93 million Ghana cedis financial loss to the state, are struggling to get sureties at the moment. And now we go for a quick commercial break. When we return, the update continues.
Some money, but I ain't giving it to you. I got some money, but I ain't giving it to you. What I touch is it. What I touch is it.
There is nothing as hard as a diamond. For buildings with superior strength that withstand all weather conditions, Diamond Cement should be your preferred choice. Locate Diamond Cement nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takoradi and Bupe. Diamond Cement, as hard as a diamond.
Moving on, residents of Takoradi in the western region have resorted to seeking the face of God to bring back the 3 missing girls. The Sunday vigil attracted hundreds of residents clad in red and black who held lit candles and chanted through some principal streets in the area. The candlelight procession started with a mass prayer at the Takoradi Jubilee Park to protest the disappearance of some girls within the area. Between the months of August and December last year, 3 girls were suspected to have been kidnapped in Takoradi. The victims are Priscilla Blessings Bentum, 21, a third-year student of the University of Education, Winneba, Ruth Love Quasin, 18, and Priscilla Montebia Kranchi, 15, a first-year student of secondary college. Some of the residents have called for military intervention to help curb the incessant kidnapping cases that had rocked the metropolis lately. They suggested that the military in the metropolis should be allowed to patrol the newly developing areas where the alleged kidnappings have been recorded. They said residents in areas like Diabene, Kansarudro, Nkrofo, Queen of Peace, Mount Zion, and Naji and Buntumajebu are not safe. The vigil was organized by Takoradi-based Sky Power FM for the 3 kidnapped girls in the metropolis. Reverend Apia Beidu, head pastor of House of Favor Church in Takoradi, who led the mass prayer session, stressed that it was about time the military were allowed to patrol the new site to ward off the miscreants who appear bent on kidnapping young women in the area. Reverend Francis Opong Ankoma of Christian Faith Church International in Secondary, who also prayed for the girls, who was optimistic they would be found. He advised young women in the area to be extra vigilant when dealing with people they suspect to have sinister motives. Meanwhile, a Nigerian, Samuel Udotug Willis, has been arrested in connection with the suspected kidnappings. And now I'd like to alert viewers that our next story may contain graphic images. Viewer discretion is advised. A young boy died after he was allegedly buried by his legal guardians for not being able to recite passages from the Bible. Ethan Hoskins was said to have been abused badly in the weeks after his death, including being made to hold a 44-pound log for 2 hours every day for a week. Timothy and Tina Hoskins, his legal guardians, are alleged to have buried him in a little coffin of snow because he failed to memorize 13 biblical verses, police said. Sadly, their 15-year-old teenage son is a culprit as well, as he's reported to have been involved in the torture, kicking and punching Ethan 100 times, standing on his head while he was face down in a puddle and rolling a heavy log over him. Tina Hoskins is facing charges after turning a blind eye to the abuse being meted out. Their son told police that he had been put in charge of looking after Ethan and his twin. Timothy and his wife subjected both Ethan and his twin under severe punishment for not memorizing the passages that they had been chosen by him. Ethan died of hypothermia and blunt force trauma across his body in Wisconsin in April last year. Andrea Everett, Ethan's biological mother, said, "When I got there, Ethan did not have a heartbeat and his temperature was 23 degrees. They worked on him for 5 hours, giving him CPR the entire time and still couldn't get a heartbeat. There was no brain activity. I want justice for my son, and the person responsible should go to jail for a very long time." Timothy Hoskins was charged with murder, while Tina was charged with failing to protect Ethan. Both are facing allegations that they allowed a teenager who has been charged with first-degree reckless homicide to get out of control. And finally, in entertainment, Akon disagrees with black artists rejecting Super Bowl. Amidst the fact that Super Bowl has been whipped into a social-political state, singer and producer Akon doesn't think that black artists snubbing the Super Bowl is necessarily the right way to go. For him, he believes the Super Bowl is just too big a stage to opt out of. Plus, he's just not okay with mixing conflict with business. Watch.
I think honestly that's stupid, and I'm gonna be as frank as possible. You're in this business for 2 reasons. One is to make an impact, and 2 is for the business of it. Now, if you're a philanthropist and that's not true. That's something that you feel like you believe in, and you're fighting for it. Sure. You have every right. Sure. But if you're doing it and you look at it as a way of expanding who you are as an artist and as a business, you also have every right. So I don't think there's a right or wrong answer for that. Okay. That's my opinion. No, I hear you. I just think sometimes people take social issues and make it a lot serious than it has to be.
However, Beyonce's protege, Chloe and Halle, performed America the Beautiful at Super Bowl, and based on reports, their performance was a highlight. Take a look. And so that's all the news we have for you on the update. For more, visit our website at dailyguidenetwork.com or get interactive with us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at the Daily Guide Network. The update is always brought to you by Diamond Cement, powered by Press Express and supported by Casa Clothing. Many thanks for watching. My name is Godwin Nambo.